I take a lot of inspiration from, past memories, having gone to places like behind me, maybe Canada. I'll have in my head an idea of something I want to paint, and then I will go looking for interesting images of landscapes and so on.
Hi, welcome to today's Ask Austin. Today I'm talking to Jaimie Volkarts from Jaimie Volkarts Art. Hi Jaimie, how are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm an abstract and semi-abstract artist. I've been painting the past 3 years, but I've always been creative. My paintings range from everything from, like you can see behind, a bit more abstract landscapes, seascapes, to weird and wonderful creations that I just go with the flow and paint whatever I feel like. I've got a particular love of blue, although I do paint in other colours as well.
How did you get into painting? Is it always something that you've been interested in?
No, so I've always been creative. As a child, I was really into drawing. I used to like drawing butterflies and fairies and things like that. My mum was quite artistic. I did GCSE art, and I really enjoyed that, but it was quite restrictive. And then life took over. I didn't touch a paintbrush, or in fact, I didn't paint when I did my GCSE art. I just I did a little bit of colouring and things, but it wasn't really with a paintbrush. And then I went on to do a degree. I did a degree in applied social sciences, nothing to do with art. Went into a job within HR for many, many years. I was in HR for 20 years. And during that time, I was still creative. So I was doing cake decorating when my children were born. I was doing interior design in the house and renovating an old Victorian property, but never painted. And then life got a little bit too hectic with my husband's job and my job. So I left work and decided to be a stay-at-home mum. And then during that time, I felt a little bit like I needed to do something extra. And my friend and I joined a local art class, and that was it. That was back in 2018, beginning of 2018, and didn't stop after that. I just wanted to create everything from very abstract at first. I didn't want to do anything realistic. And just loved it since then.
It's funny how you find something that you like and you're good at, and it just kind of snowballs from there, because obviously you talked about being in HR to art. I mean, it's completely different. There's no linkage there. So
my life was spent doing spreadsheets and employee grievances and all of that goes with HR. So yeah, the creative outlet was really nice.
Do you find having the HR background makes the business side of things a bit easier for you?
Yes and no. So I've recently been working on some kind of planning for the next few years and things like that. Definitely having that planning background, having the knowledge of processes and systems has really helped. In terms of running technology, because so much of being an artist is about knowing how to work the different systems and upload things and so on. So all of that has helped massively. In terms of running a business, it's very different. And actually as an artist, it's taken me quite a bit of time to get my head around the fact that it is a business. And you tend to treat it differently, and it almost feels like you shouldn't say that it's a business, but it is. Mm-hmm. So I think having that background has helped me to come to terms with it, but probably not as quickly as I would have liked.
Excellent. 2 seconds. Always have a panic that the camera's not actually started. I normally press record and then check, but it's fine. It's me just being paranoid. So, how do you get your ideas for your paintings?
So, I take a lot of inspiration from, past memories, having gone to places like behind me, maybe Canada. I'll have in my head an idea of something I want to paint, and then I will go looking for interesting images of landscapes and so on. A I've got an example here, one I'm currently working on. So this was a photograph that's I've taken from one of the photograph showing sites. So I'll take that as my initial inspiration. This now looks very different to the one that I first on, but some of them are just simply from imagination. So I start to think about the colours. I start to think about how I want a painting to feel, whether I want it to be atmospheric or so on. I walk a lot out with my dog. I used to live by the sea, so that often finds its way into my paintings. Lots of people say even my abstract ones tend to have a sea element to them. So yeah, a bit of everything. And I work quite intuitively, so I like to just put music on, and I like to just go and see where it takes me sometimes. I'll have in my head an idea of what I want, but it's usually around the colours and so on. They're more the abstract pieces anyway.
So you mentioned up front that you use blue a lot. Do you think that comes from this living by the sea? Do you think that's where?
I think it does. I have got blue in my clothing as well, so there's been quite a few events and videos and things I've done where I've noticed I'm actually wearing blue as well as blue painting.
Consciously, yeah.
Yeah, but I do love other colours. I like purple. I like, really like purple actually. Turquoise is more on the blue side, but they're my favourite colours. Cool colours, I think.
How do you ensure that you're constantly evolving as a creator?
So, because I'm self-taught, and when I say self-taught, what I simply mean by that is that I haven't been to any formal art education. So I haven't been to university to study an art degree. So yes, I did a GCSE, but it wasn't enough really. So because I'm self-taught, I've spent a lot of time searching tutorials, and YouTube initially was my kind of go-to place where I'd go and want to explore all sorts of things. So I do a couple of things. Sorry, the screen's just come up. I do online learning, and I pay for something called New Masters Academy, where they train you in the formal art discipline. So it's not live training, but it's recorded lessons where you'll learn about composition, you learn about everything to do with painting. That always sparks different things. I use lots of different mediums. So this behind me is oils. I also use acrylic. Each different medium you use, pastels is another one, which I really enjoy doing. They kind of produce a different outcome. Mm-hmm. So this is more blended, less harsh textures, less harsh detailing, whereas an acrylic painting will have very, very sharp edges, for example. So that helps me to be progressive and creative. Pastels I tend to use for more realistic painting. So if I'm doing, for example, an animal, because I like to do that in my spare time as well, is just not so much of the abstract, more of the detailed. And all of that helps me to evolve. So I'll take elements from the different mediums and bring them into whatever I'm working in. But I think you have to keep up with what's current. I'll experiment, spend time just playing, because if you try to focus too much on getting things right, then quite often they don't go right. So you need to just allow yourself that freedom to explore.
Yeah, and it's funny how, you know, when you do experiment, you come across something that actually you never ever thought of, and it works really well, and you know, it might inspire you to do other things. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Do you, I guess you've not been doing many exhibitions recently, but is that something that you do, or is it kind of online only?
Yeah, so I did actually get an opportunity to do something locally. It wasn't a formal exhibition. It was a local market that I had an opportunity to go to, which was amazing. It was just before Christmas. It was just lovely seeing people and talking to people, and actually having people look at my art there and not on screen. So that was lovely. I've done lots online last year, so I've done lots of lives. I've done, I did an art weeks from home with what's Warwickshire Open Studios. They normally have live events, but I kind of joined in with their online. So I was due to exhibit with Warwickshire Open Studios last year, and also Leamington Spa Art in the Park. So that's a big event that happens over a weekend every summer. And that was obviously cancelled, but they are scheduled to happen this year. So we'll see whether that happens. I also have had exhibitions at a local hospital. So they have like an art gallery in the entrance, and I had all my pieces up in 2019. I had a few months where all my pieces were up there. So I do things. I'm not with a gallery at the moment, so I haven't done any gallery exhibitions.
Yeah, because I guess it's something that you really want people to see in the flesh, don't you? Because internet's great, but you know, if you're going to buy art, you want to see it in the flesh. Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, brilliant. So you're part of Artisanry. How did that all come about?
So I connected with Pavna on online through Instagram. Actually, we connected and spoke with her about it, and it started from there. She explained to me what the community was. She explained how it was, how it all works together, both the selling side and the community side. And I thought it sounded like a fantastic initiative, and joined up from there, having had a chat with her.
Brilliant. And in terms of the community, how have you found that? You found it really useful?
It's really useful. So just, you know, having gone from being in a corporate career to then being a stay-at-home mum, to then going into art and doing it on your own, it's very lonely work. So any form of maker is generally working on their own, unless they've got a big manufacturing process and they've got lots of other people. So just the community side and being able to have other people to talk to has been amazing. But Artisanry have just provided numerous sessions really, where we've all got together, and it could be anything from, you know, planning social media or working with things like Canva. I shared my planning spreadsheet with the team recently, and it's extra learning opportunities that you don't necessarily get elsewhere, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's building up that network as well, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. And in terms of, if people want to find out more about your work, where can they find you?
So I have my own website. I'm obviously on Artisanry Co and have a page within there. I have my own website as well, which is www.jaimievolkartsart.com. Realise that's probably take me forever to spell it out. I'm also on Instagram under Jaimie Volkarts Art, and on Facebook as well. I'm on Pinterest, LinkedIn, pretty much any of the socials. I'm not on Twitter. I just don't quite understand Twitter yet.
Yeah, I'm the same. Give that one a miss. Yeah, I'll put all the links down in the description as well, so people can get right through. So listen, thanks very much for your time, Jaimie. That's been great talking to you.